Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm here with another live commentated VGC 14 match. But before I get started, I just want to make a quick announcement. Tomorrow I'll be at a VGC 14 live event at Babylon, New York, which is in Long Island, and I'm going to be streaming and commentating the entire event. Now, these events are kind of small local tournaments, but East Coast is really stacked, and there are actually a lot of great VGC players attending it, including Anash Char, who got a top 8 at Worlds last year, one of the best players really in the country, and a ton of other players. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be streaming on Nugget Bridge's Twitch, so that's twitch.tv/NuggetBridge. Tournament starts at around 1 p.m., so you can stay tuned for that. If you don't follow me on Twitter already, find me on Cybertron VGC for live updates. Should be really exciting. The reason why I'm not playing is because I don't need any championship points since I already have my invitations to Worlds, so not necessary. Instead, I just want to provide some live coverage, and I think it'll be really exciting to be streaming and commentating. Good practice for me as well. Anyway, let's get into today's match. I am using a team of Salamence, Rotom Wash, Tyranitar, Gengar, Mawile, and Amoonguss. Current rating, of 1724. Played a bit more, starting to take Battle Spot a bit more seriously to get some practice in. I'm going to find Joj M from Maryland with the rating of 1704. Now, this is really exciting because Joj M actually won the regionals back in Utah in April. I think this is his first year in the Masters Division, but he's really proving his worth, and we have very similar teams actually. He's running one of Kangaskhan, Gengar, Salamence, Gardevoir, Rotom Heat, and Mawile. 5 of the 6 Pokemon that Yoshi actually used, Marcus, used to win German VGC Nationals undefeated. The only difference is he has Gardevoir instead of Garchomp, which is a change I think I respect because I've actually tried out Marcus's team, or a slight variation of it. I think having a fairy type there is pretty cool, but you know, when you can't bring Mawile. You know, my team, we have the Salamence, Mawile, and Gengar in common. Gengar mirror matchups are really brutal. Salamence mirrors are really brutal too. Unfortunately, we've got both of those going for us, so not going to be too fun here. Mawile good because it beats the Salamence, can wall the Kang, can do a lot to, can KO the Gardevoir. Gengar suffers against it too, but it can't afford to get burned. Rotom Heat really the biggest Pokemon I have to watch out for in terms of that. Tyranitar, you know, would be nice in this matchup, but the power-up punch from Kangaskhan is just too threatening. I think I want to lead with Salamence Gengar and have Mawile Amoonguss in the back, though I kind of want Rotom Wash too. Rotom Wash is a pretty safe lead, actually. I'm going to go Rotom Wash Gengar and have Mawile and I think Amoonguss in the back. I'm debating between Amoonguss and Salamence, though. I am going to go with... You know what? Let's go with Salamence. I want more offense in this game. So I don't really like my team matchup going into this battle, and, you know, seeing the Salamence and Gengar mirror match is always scary enough, but we'll see how that plays out. Also interested in seeing whether he brings Kang or Mawile. I'm gonna assume he's gonna bring Kangaskhan, but not sure. Gardevoir is also a Pokemon I really hate dealing with, so I'm gonna go with my Rotom Wash and my Gengar, which are, you know, Rotom Wash obviously such a bulky lead. He's gonna go with Kangaskhan and Gardevoir, so that's a decent lead matchup for me. Trace is going to trace the Levitate, so not gonna really matter here, but I'm in a decent position here. I'm going to go for the Double Protect on the first turn just to block out any potential fake outs. You know, Gengar obviously can't get faked out by normal type attacks, but Kangaskhan does carry Scrappy, and that's a play that I actually make a lot when I use normal Kangaskhan. I do fake out the Gengar to break the Focus Sash, so I don't want to get double targeted here. I also don't want him to, say, get a free power-up punch off onto Rotom, though now thinking about it, he might actually power-up punch his own Gardevoir, which, if that is the case, will be very problematic. So, perhaps I shouldn't have been so played entirely that safely and just went for the Double Protect on the first turn, but we'll see whether he actually goes for the power-up punch play or not. It is one that I'd be kind of surprised to. He's not going to Mega Evolve though, so that indicates to me he did go for the Fake Out onto Gengar. So, it's exactly why I went for the Double Protect play, and happy to see he did not go for the Power-Up Punch onto himself. Let's see what Gardevoir does though. Yep, Gardevoir just going for the Psychic. So, Rotom Wash probably could have went for an attack there, but I'll take that turn. So now Gengar will be able to freely Will-O-Wisp this Kangaskhan. But the question is what I want to do, what else I want to do. I know the Gardevoir probably going to try to launch a Psychic off. I also am not in the worst position. I could just go for the Will-O-Wisp with Rotom as well, but I kind of just want Kangaskhan really gone. Kangaskhan gone. I don't know why I find that funny, but so I'm thinking of going for a Will-O-Wisp and a Hydro Pump into it, honestly, because I know it's probably going to try to power-up punch the Rotom. So let's I can also Will-O-Wisp the Kangaskhan with my Rotom, actually, and go for the Shadow Ball. I'm going to make that play because I really am expecting the Power-Up Punch. He's actually not even going to Mega Evolve still. So I'm going to get the super effective Shadow Ball into Gardevoir. Unfortunately, not able to KO. He is going to Power-Up Punch. Power-Up Punch into Gengar. Really cool play there. So that's why he didn't Mega Evolve. Not only does he get the +1, but he also gets the KO onto Gengar. So really, really nice play there by Jojam, picking up the KO on Gengar. But as long as Rotom hits this Will-O-Wisp, I should be fine, and it is going to hit. So that's great, as negates that power-up punch, actually brings its attack down even lower. So I'll take that turn. I'll take that trade-off any day, because Kangaskhan obviously is his Mega Pokemon. I have not brought out my Mega Pokemon yet. It is going to make an appearance now, Mawile coming out, and I'm glad I brought Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash and Mawile really complement each other really nicely, because Rotom Heat is picking up so much popularity in VGC, and deservedly so. It's a really, really good Pokemon, if you ask me. And now the question is whether his Gardevoir is, what set it's running. I don't see the Citrus Berry, though, so that indicates to me it is Choice Spec set, perhaps. But here I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt. I actually kind of want to go for the Hydro Pump, expecting a switch into Rotom. He actually does not resist Hydro Pump with any of his Pokemon but Salamence, so I'm going to go with the Hydro Pump there onto Gardevoir and go for the Play Rough onto Kangaskhan. I am running a Max Attack Kangaskhan. He's actually going to switch it out. Good play, because Kangaskhan's attack is just so low now. So Rotom's going to go out there. Now the question is whether he has Will-O-Wisp with Gardevoir or not. If he does have Will-O-Wisp, I'm going to be in some trouble, but we'll see. Great switch into the Rotom Heat there, though. I was really anticipating it going the opposite way. Gardevoir just going to launch a Psychic, though, so that indicates to me it is Choice Specs, excuse me, especially as it does so much damage. Oh, I really needed Rotom to not take that much damage, but the critical hit there really hurting. Hydro Pump is going to connect, but unfortunately hitting the wrong slot there, as it does pick up the KO on Gardevoir, and crits, not fun. Play Rough gonna connect here, probably doing around 40%. Yep, right around the money there. And that's good. Get some good damage off onto that Rotom, enough for a Salamence, which I do have in the back to knock it out with the Draco Meteor, but that crit. So Salamence is going to come out now, and I'm in a pretty bad position. I can switch out into my Salamence from the Mawile slot, though, so that's fine. The really annoying thing, though, is I anticipate his Salamence is Choice Scarfed as well, and that's really bad, because then we have to deal with speed ties. But I'm going to make this switch out from Mawile to Salamence. A relatively obvious one, but one I think he really needs to pick up the KO onto Rotom Wash with the Salamence, otherwise I'm just going to get a free Hydro Pump off. So I feel alright making this play, but the crit really setting me back, honestly. But I'm not entirely sure. I assume Salamence might have actually been... Oh, he's going to go for the Draco. Rotom going to avoid, though. Clutch Avoid. Making up for that critical hit. And the Overheat is going to go into Salamence. So that's really, really great. Oh, my God. Maybe this battle's not just over quite yet. So kind of trading luck there. Hydro Pump going to miss, too, though. Oh, my God. So, avoid for avoid there, I guess, but that's not fun. Now I know my Salamence is max speed, but of course we are dealing with speed rolls. So I'm going to go for the Hydro onto Rotom and just going to go for the Draco onto Salamence, praying that I manage to win the speed tie. Even if I don't win the speed tie, though, I'm not in the worst of positions depending on who he targets. If he targets Rotom, then I'll be able to knock it out, and then his Rotom Heat will be at -2. If he targets the Salamence, then I'll be able to either knock out the Rotom or hit the Kangaskhan switch-in. So not in the worst of positions, but Rotom going for the Protect. Okay, that's good to see. If Rotom switched out there, he would have been able to negate the -2. I am going to win the speed tie, though. I'm assuming. I don't know if he's actually running max speed or not, but I always assume Salamence is running max speed. However, Salamence has actually opted not to go with a lot. I see a relative amount there, but that's huge. I really needed that to hit, and that's going to help me a lot. So even though I missed the Hydro Pump last turn, he missed the Draco there. The crit did set me back a bit, but in the long run, don't think it's going to matter too much, and now I'm really, really happy with the position I'm in, because I have I'm facing a -2 Rotom now against my Rotom and my Salamence. Now, he brings in Kangaskhan. He's most definitely going to finally Mega Evolve here. The question is who he fakes that. You would think he's going to have to fake out the Rotom Wash. So I'm going to go for the Hydro onto his Kangaskhan and go for the Draco. Actually, no, I want to... See, the thing is that he might nail me on the Will-O-Wisp with Salamence, expecting the Mawile to switch in. I think I'm going to switch out my Rotom into Mawile. Yeah. And go for a Draco onto the Kang. I just want Kang to faint at this point. And the reason why I'm switching out Rotom is just because I want the Mawile to have a safe switch in, and he probably, if I were on his side, I'd probably predict the Salamence to be switching out. So I'm going to go for that play, but we'll see what he does. Kangaskhan's going to Mega Evolve here. Be very surprised to see if it faked out the Salamence, but, the game's still not over yet. Rotom Heat, especially with Will-O-Wisp. Oh, he's not even going to fake out. Oh my God, no! I miss another Draco, or I don't miss another, but I'm gonna miss that Draco. Fortunately, he didn't go for the power-up punch, though. That's what I was really fearing, as he actually went for the return. He does get the Will-O-Wisp off. The question is, oh, wow, brilliant target by Joe Gem there, hitting my Mawile. So, he really needed to make a play to really stay in the game, and that's gonna help him out a lot. Missing that Draco really hurt, though. I need as much damage off of the Kangaskhan, because then I'd assume, say, a combination of Sucker Punch and Draco would be able to KO it, but that's going to set me back a bit. So now I think I'm going to go for a Sucker Punch and a Draco Meteor. I don't know if this is going to be able to KO or not, but let's see. Rotom is going to protect those, so that's really, really good to see. I was fearing an overheat, but that actually might just seal me up the game. Sucker Punch is going to go off. Let's see how much damage it does. Of course, I am burned, but still does a good amount. Draco is also going to connect with that Kangaskhan at -2, but should do bring it down to at least 25%, I would assume. We'll see. Yep, just around there, so still familiar with my damage calcs. Kangaskhan going for that return onto Salamence. Not sure if it's going to KO because he is burned. It actually isn't going to pick up the KO. That's really, really good to see, as Kangaskhan's going to take some more burn damage, enough to make it faint next turn. So now I'm in a fantastic position. And he really has to go for Sucker Punch now onto that Salamence. So I'm going to protect here with Mawile, just because I don't want to get overheated. Switch into Rotom. Even if he KOs Rotom, my Salamence actually does carry Stone Edge. So Stone Edge plus Sucker Punch from Mawile should be able to seal up the game onto Rotom Heat. But this is a really exciting match, you know. Pretty bad luck on both of our ends at certain points, and he made a brilliant play to really stay in the game last turn, but I think by protecting with the Rotom Heat, he really lost all chances. Not all chances, but that was, he really needed to attack there with Rotom Heat. I'm going to protect Mawile. Kangaskhan actually just going for another return, though, so interesting to see that. But like I said, I wasn't really worried there. Rotom Heat, Rotom Wash at this point done its job. You know, I probably could have conserved it a bit smarter there, just, you know, knowing like Kangaskhan would faint anyway. The Rotom Wash would be able to KO the Rotom Heat with a Hydro Pump, but Hydro Pump and Stone Edge do have the same accuracy anyway, so really not a big deal. Now I can safely bring in the Salamence. I actually think I'm just going to go for the Draco Meteor instead, actually. Don't want to risk the Stone Edge miss, and Draco Meteor should be able to pick up the KO. So, I'm going to go for the Play Rough, I think. Yeah, I don't want to Sucker Punch it because it's probably carrying a Citrus Berry, so I'm going to go for the Draco. Let's see how much damage it does. Draco is going to connect, though. That's really good. And we'll see whether it could pick up the KO on Rotom Heat or not. As the HP slowly falls, and it KOs. So that's a 2-0 win against Utah Regional Champion Joe Gem in a really, really exciting match. Luck both ways. Interesting matchup as we both had Gengar and Salamence. He didn't bring his Gengar, but Salamence Mirror is really scary to deal with. I assume he was timid max speed, so I was fortunate enough to win that speed tie when it mattered. Draco miss, you know, crits everywhere, misses and crits everywhere. But really exciting game, guys. As always, 500 likes is the the like bar for daily uploads. Let me know if you enjoyed the match. Like, comment, subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And tune into the stream tomorrow on twitch.tv/NuggetBridge to watch some really exciting VGC matches and me live commentating at a Premier Challenge in New York City. Anyway, that's it for today's battle, guys, and I'll see you next time. Alright, peace.